There is another big push for a referendum, this one on the Green agenda on net zero. And we've seen, I think, an increasing rise in scrutiny of net zero, of the reality of what the Green agenda means. Of course, we've seen that right across Europe, and we're seeing it here in England as well. With some MPs now, some Conservative MPs, actually pushing for a potential referendum on this. Now, what's interesting is, of course, as Richard Tice, the Reform Party leader, points out, many Tory MPs effectively are now in agreement with Reform UK, calling for a referendum on net zero. You've got Tice there saying the establishment and eco-cultists are terrified of such democracy because they know they would lose again. And I do think some of the mainstream media coverage on these green issues is massively one-sided. I mean, when you look at what voters in this country think, for instance, way more voters support the government issuing those new licences for oil and gas drilling in the North Sea than oppose that. And this was another recent poll from YouGov. A majority of the country, there 55% of people, saying policies to reduce carbon emissions should only be introduced if they do not result in additional costs for ordinary people. So only 27% of the country, only around a quarter, actually say that policies to reduce carbon emissions should be introduced even if they result in some additional costs for ordinary people. So that's basically a majority of the country against green taxes then. You look at the actual costs of net zero. You know, this is why it's such a big issue. We've seen a cost of reaching net zero, for instance, at £1.4 trillion. Interesting, in this latest Telegraph article there, of Telegraph readers, the type of people the Tories really need to be in touch with if they have any chance of winning the next election. You've got 89% of over 10,000 Telegraph readers there saying that net zero should be scrapped. And you've got Marco Longi there, the Conservative MP for Dudley North, saying given the complexity of this issue and its far-reaching consequences, he believes that involving the public through a referendum is right, that there should be a proper debate on this, and that a referendum would require the government to communicate the intricacies of the 2050 net zero target to the public, fostering a better understanding of the challenges and benefits. So certainly more talk of a referendum on net zero, guys. Let me know if you would want to see that or not. Do you support net zero or not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will keep bringing you all the latest, of course, so please do whack this video a quick thumbs up. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.